What's going on, you beautiful people? I am the realest Rob. I am a freshman journalism major at Howard University.
Hey y'all, my name is Elizabeth, a freshman political science major at Howard University from PG County, Maryland.
Hi, my name is Madison Robinson. I'm a sophomore English major at Howard University from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Elise Martin, and I'm a media and journalism film major from Atlanta, Georgia.
And I am your host. My name is Brianna Alvarado. I'm a media, film, and journalism major from Orlando, Florida, by way of Long Island, New York. And together, we are
Unpacked,
Unpacked,
and Unscripted.
Now moving on to the facts about poll watchers. In a video published to recruit poll watcher volunteers, the Trump 2020 Director of Press Communications said in that video, "Our election day operations are designed to make sure that everyone that is legally entitled to vote has the opportunity to vote once. We all know that the Democrats will be up to their old dirty tricks on election day to make sure that President Trump does not win. We cannot let that happen." I think this kind of brings us to our next discussion. Do you think that the implementation of poll watchers was really necessary for this election, given, all of these allegations of voter fraud and this information coming out?
If this was like a neighborhood watch thing and it was people volunteering their time and effort to go out and watch and make sure like the people doing their jobs were safe and everything was doing well, then I think that there wouldn't be a problem with a poll watcher. But the fact that Trump and his party encourage like white supremacists and the Proud Boys and neo-Nazis to go out and like watch the polls. And these are people with like very violent agendas. Like over the past few days on social media, I've seen posts of mainly young white boys talking about, oh, like I'm gonna go out here with my gun and stand out here, and if you try to stop me, I'll shoot you. Like they're all very violent people with violent agendas, and I think that would mess it up because it's just you don't need all of that to make sure someone's doing their job correctly. Like there's like again, like the government has checks and balances. Like we can implement a checks and balance that doesn't require a system of violence.
So wait, quick question. The white supremacists that you were saying were coming out to protect these polls, were they considered poll watchers, or were they just like straight up just activating just to go out there and defend?
They were just activating, but a lot of people who were more right-leaning, a lot of like people on Twitter were calling them poll watchers, but anyone, I don't want to sound mean, but anyone with common sense was saying, oh, they're just doing, like they're taking up arms.
Yeah, I think there is a necessity for like to watch the process of voting and stuff like that, just to see like make sure nobody's like make sure fraud does not happen. But I think that needs to be state run and not party run. I think that's the government's job to hire people, or for no, not volunteers, government to hire people who they feel like are capable and able enough to watch these processes happen and make sure that they know like how to do it. But just having a random advertisement on YouTube or social media and saying text this number and you could be a poll watcher, and then you could just pull up to any type of poll you want to. I don't think, I think one, it could be dangerous depending on who's out there and who volunteers, but I just think more so that people are going to be biased and people are going to lie. If this is an advertisement reaching out to people who want Trump to win, and they become poll watchers and they watch the polls, they're gonna find every single little small thing that they think is wrong and accuse that of being voter fraud. And I think that's why we're seeing so many false accusations and false evidences, because they are poll watching and they are giving these evidence to these judges, but there's just nothing there.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. But I feel like, these poll watchers, they need to be unbiased, or they just need to be independents, or, not no Democrats, no Republicans, because at the end of the day, the Republicans are going to say, oh, the Democrats are counting the votes like this. Oh, the Republicans are counting the votes like this, blah, blah, blah. And like Madison said, these are people with malicious intent going to the polls to watch them count. And these people they're doing their best to count the votes. They want to give the correct number, otherwise we're going to have a recount in all of these states. So if people are going to these polls causing chaos, screaming at people through the windows, then Fox was saying that they were boarding up the windows of polling buildings and stuff like that. Obviously, because people are yelling in their face as they're counting these votes. How are they're gonna go 1, 2, 3 and then hear something and it's back to the beginning.
Yeah, so I agree with the idea that we should have had poll watchers in this election, especially and going forward in reality. But I don't believe the type of poll watchers that have been recruited this election were the best idea. As you were saying, Ola, having, just Republican poll watchers, or, for Trump to even advertise, in his campaign party to even advertise, hey, we want people like you to be watching these polls to protect our vote. Just, I feel like if you want to ensure the security of these votes, for the American votes, I think it shouldn't have been geared towards one candidate. I think that it should have been an opportunity extended to all Americans, even if they don't necessarily agree with the Republican ideals or Trump's campaign and his agenda. I feel like if you really were in it for the right reasons and trying to do this for um, to ensure the integrity of the vote, then it should have been a little more open. Um, but yeah, I don't really think that all the poll watchers were coming in, with malicious intent. I think that, with the Trump campaign really revving up the wrong spirit, I think that's where they kind of failed. Because you can see, like you were saying, people outside of the right outside of the voting area just screaming and stuff like that, like mobs outside. That's unacceptable for anybody.
If you wanted to ensure the integrity of the vote, you shouldn't have depleted the resources from the USPS, where most of these votes are coming in from.